What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Four Idiots, presented by Fade You. Little shout out to the boys, real quick. Got me, Joey Cheese, at the helm tonight. Here with Chaz McLongball,
Cock.
Hey.
our chief poop officer, Mr. Hazmat Suit 23 himself, and good old Kmart, who, if you watched the show the other night, he was fucking hammered. So tonight, college football best bets. No need to fuck around. We got Thursday night football in about 15 minutes. I myself want to watch that game also. So let's jump right into it. Kmart, why don't you start us off with something?
All right. So, I think I texted this play to the group on Monday morning. But it was kind of the first thing that caught my eye when the lines came out. And I think we all watched that Colorado State-Colorado game. Colorado State probably should have won. Used up a lot of energy. I don't really use this too much, but I feel like they came off this emotional high, and now they're going to go on the road. Play Tennessee. I got it at -2. It's -3 now. This might be a Joey Cheese alt line special of -9.5. Not that I'm saying do that, but like if you want to fuck around, this could be the game to do it. And that's probably my favorite play of the weekend. It's my best bet so far, but I'm probably gonna add on it honestly because I'm a degenerate.
Wow, starting us out hot, just throwing your best bet out right from the jump, huh?
They're all three are my best. I love them all equally. Like
Yeah.
They're like
We
your children.
run into that issue all the time. I mean, I myself also am also on Middle Tennessee State. I don't see how Colorado State moves the football on this defense. I mean, this is a Colorado State team that's given up 46 points per game. So they can't stop a fucking nosebleed. So yeah, I agree with you there. Haz or Chaz, anything on this game real quick?
Right now,
I'm with you. Pure emotion. I mean, they just played the biggest game that they're going to get ever on televised national television. They had game day. They had every eyeball in the country on them. The idea that they're going to somehow give you the same effort against Middle Tennessee State on a game no one cares about, almost zero.
Yeah, I mean, their leading running back has 80 yards on the season.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm good. It's a team that I'm betting against also here.
Yeah. They shot their wad.
Has any opinion here before we move on?
I rode the dads and moms we know. I wish I got 2.5 as well. I got 3, but just a tough spot. So I'm gonna. This Blue Raiders team is under the radar too. I think they're a lot better than people think. So
played Missouri tough a couple weeks ago. Almost got a W there. I think they lost. It was 23-19 to Missouri. I mean, they were right in that game. So nice. Duke, why don't you hit us with a play? You got where are you looking?
I'll start with Pac-12 after dark. I know Kmart said it's a Has special. Might as well start with it. Washington just beat the shit out of Sparty. Their stock, I don't think, could be any higher right now. 3-0. Everyone's talking like they're one of the best teams in the nation.
Hold on, Chaz, mute your microphone while everyone else. Please, thank you.
Perfect. And Cal, not getting much love just because they've played, UNT looked really good. Played Auburn really tough. Could have won that game, home dog, and then. Lowly Idaho, they took care of them, but this defense is pretty good. I'm hoping it can slow it up. I know the total's around, I think, like 59, so you're looking at something like, 37-20, something like that. I mean, if they can hold them to 35, score their 17 or whatever, keep it within 20. I just think, Washington's just couldn't look any better right now. Super inflated. Give me the Cal Bears.
Yeah, great rundown. So we talked. I did a show last night with the boys, Jordan and Aaron Kidd, and they both love Cal. They gave that out last night. Also, had me looking into it. You mentioned it this morning. So yeah, that's a play I'm going to be riding for sure.
Hell yeah.
But,
I'll have to hit Kid up and say, let's go. Great minds.
Yeah, I think he gave that out last night as one of his best bets on his show.
Nice.
So, all right, Chaz, what do you got? Let's save the one we just talked about before the air for the end. So, where are you going for a play this weekend?
So I love Cincy. I like Cincy getting 15 at home. I'm getting over 2 touchdowns with a team that is like a borderline top 25 team. They're going to be somewhere in that conversation of 25 to 40 throughout the rest of the year. I don't think they're as good as some of the Cincy teams in the past, but I don't think Oklahoma is anywhere near as good as they've showed. They've been incredibly dominant against the spread, but they played Arkansas State, and they had one decent game against SMU, but realistically, they haven't really proven to me they can play elite talent. Going on the road and playing a team like Cincinnati that has been pretty good for the last few years, I think they're fairly well coached. And the big thing is it's really hard to get them off the field on third down. Emory Jones is very elusive as a third down runner at the quarterback position. So, they're 50+% on the year on third down. It's really hard to pull away from the team that you can't get off the field. So for me, I think 15 is too many points. I'm going to be on Cincy.
It's a good breakdown. I mean, this is a game here where I know good guys on both sides in this game. I know a couple people that grabbed Oklahoma at minus 11.5. Probably like it at that number. 15, we might be getting a little high, but it's not a spot I'm going to be betting. But good breakdown there. So yeah, I guess I got a couple games I want to give out tonight. If you listened to a show last night, you might have heard some of these. But not normally my style, man. But I'm going to Oregon State, Wazoo. This is a game where I'm back in Oregon State -3. It's not like me, man. I don't know. You guys know me. I don't really give out many favorites. I look for value in dogs for the most part.
UConn.
Yeah, except for UConn. True. Yeah, it didn't work out well last week. But this is a Beavers team that's 9-1 against the spread in their last 10 games. 7-0 their last 7 games straight up. DJ has impressed me so far this season. For somebody who I thought was absolute garbage last year and didn't have anything good to say about him, I think this program, he fits in better there in Oregon State than he did at Clemson. Clemson, they're run and gun, they're throwing it up and down the field. Here at Oregon State, he has a chance to run that little quarterback bootlet that, he's running the ball a little bit out of the pocket himself. They have that filthy run game, and I think it helps a lot that this Oregon State team has the #1 defense in the Pac-12. So I think that obviously helps him shine a little bit. Defense is getting some 3 and outs. Oregon State gets the ball, they control the clock, and they're running it down teams' throats. Damian Martinez, leading running back for Oregon State, averaging 8.5 yards per carry this year, over 40 carries. I can't look past that. I think this is an Oregon State team that keeps Wazoo off the field long enough with their dominant run game, where I think they win this game by 7+. So, Oregon State -3 for me. Anyone have opinion on this game? Seems like everyone I've talked to is on Washington State here.
I mean, honestly, I feel similar the way you do. It seems like everything I've seen has been Washington State. I mean, they got a really good quarterback themselves. I mean, I feel like 8 out of 12 schools in the Pac-12. It's just funny how good this conference looks, and it's the last year of it. It's kind of sad, but funny at the same time. But yeah, I think Oregon State still has a very good defense. Chase and I were watching their first or second game, I can't remember, a couple of weeks ago. And granted, it was only against San Jose State, but we were both like, man, exactly what you said. DJ is good in this offense. But yeah, Chase, you go.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, when we were watching that game, the whole time I was thinking, how did Dabo Swinney not figure out how to use this guy? That was my initial thought. I'm like, this guy looks like a completely different player. So, I mean, I'm probably not going to touch the game, just simply because I don't have a big enough sample size. Like, they've looked really good early, but this will be a really good test for them. I think if they look good here, I kind of have to be a believer because I just had such a bad taste in my mouth watching them play at Clemson that it's so hard for me to believe that this isn't going to come crashing down eventually.
I think you're looking at it, Chaz, like the same way I was looking at it. Like even after like week 2 this year, like it's still. I look at it like DJ from Clemson, like not DJ at Oregon State, like because that's so what I remember, But after watching some of his film this year, he's impressed me to say the least.
It's hard to get that image out of your mind, but I mean he has looked really good early.
For sure, Duke. What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably ride you. I do lean the home dog just because I am jaded. I went to Bosco. He went to Bosco. I saw the shit. I kind of saw that SDSU game last. He didn't look good. He threw two bad picks, I think, and they could have blown them out, but the SDSU stayed in the number, catching 20-something, and they only lost by 15, 16, something like that. But
yeah, 26-9.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, this is a big stage. I mean, Wazoo, I mean, it's tough. I mean, look, ask Wisconsin. It's a tough place to go, man. Pullman, that's all they have. I love seeing that stadium on ESPN or any kind of big time game because those fans just love it. Like Chase said, probably stay away, but it's going to be a good game. I mean, it makes you wonder. It's like, okay, the better team or the lower ranked team, they're both ranked, but it's always funny when you get the team laying that slight, on the road. And so we'll see, man. Like you said, I've heard of sharps on Wazoo. I've heard a few people saying, nope, laying it with the Beavs. So yeah, it should be a good one. Sweet.
I know myself. I got some more stuff. Chaz probably has more. I know Duke got some more poopy shit to give out. Kmart, you got somewhere else you want to go?
Yeah, I'll go with Clemson +2. I'm actually usually I say fuck the points, but I've seen so many games end on 1. I'm gonna take these.
No,
2.
John Murray said it doesn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, once in a blue moon. But it's kind of a fate spot, honestly. There's not much going into it. Obviously, Clemson lost to Duke in week 1. Everyone was like, "Oh my God, Clemson! They're falling apart." Everyone's seen Florida State free -2 against Clemson. Clemson's having another down year. Florida State's gonna go to the playoff and potentially win it all. I mean, even like my sign to bet it that's when I texted you. I was like, "Hey, hey Joey, you putting the house on Florida State?" And you're like, "Nah, dude." That's how I knew it's a good play. Like the fact you're so confident in Florida State to win it all, but you're passing this game, I'm like, man, this +2. I mean, it's a hazmat suit special too. It smells like shit.
Yeah, I talked about this game last night with Jordan and AK because they wanted my opinion on it because they obviously both know I got my futures on Florida State and my over bet, which I know some of the boys here have with me. I'm staying away from this game for a few reasons. One, I think the line is absolutely fucking disgusting. 2, I think Florida State should beat them by fucking 21+. Why is this line only 2? And third of all, because I think Florida State could still lose this game, run the table, beat the shit out of North Carolina in the ACC championship, and still make the Final Four. So I don't even think a loss here kills me, as far as my futures go. But yeah, this is a game for me. It's an absolute fucking pass.
Good though, because there's parity for the first time. Like the past, I mean, it's been around for a couple years. And my wife's making chili for me tonight, and she just came in with a bunch of cans to open. So that's where my distraction is.
Nice.
At least I'm useful. But yeah, like I feel like there's so much parity. I mean, Chris said it earlier in our text that I don't know who he was listening to, but like 8 teams potentially can win it all. But I mean, I agree with it. And it was more of a negative on, it's taking forever to get, the playoff expanded. But this is the first year where It's like, shit, man. I kind of wish we got it going this year because there'd actually be good games. One versus 8, I don't think is going to be that much of a blowout like it's been in years past. 1 versus 4.
It's like the first year ever where it's not just like Alabama versus Georgia and like the loser in the SEC championship still gets into the playoff.
Right.
I agree.
Transfer portal, baby.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's great.
Yeah, transfer portal, NIL, like it's changing the scope of college football, like without a doubt. Az, what else you got for us? Let's get another poopy play from the sanitation officer.
I'm gonna go. I know I've asked some people about it. It just doesn't make. I think it's gonna be a tight game. I'm just gonna go Virginia Tech. They've looked like shit the last 2 weeks. They got beat by Purdue in that weird rainy game that took 7 years to finish. Then they got crushed by Rutgers last week. And Marshall has looked really good. This is kind of like I think it's a kind of mini rivalry game. They're right next to each other in Virginia and West Virginia. And, I think Marshall's, they're going to be up for it, but it's 4. I think I saw it at 5 earlier this week, maybe even 6. Now it's down to 4.5. Looks like the bets are even. I like to see that if the bets are even on each side, 50-50, but the line's coming down. Obviously, someone knows more than us with more cheddar Joey cheese than us. So I'll take the road dog Hokies catching it. Hopefully they can keep it within a field goal here.
All right. Yeah, I don't have much of an opinion here. We talked about it in our group chat earlier. This is a straight just ride hazmat play for me. Like, I don't have an opinion on it.
I mean, hazmat's due to go 3-0 on this fucking pod, so
I feel bad. I don't know if I've ever gone 0-3. Last week was a disaster off with that shitty schedule. Now we got a jam-packed schedule.
Yeah, and that was like me forcing Mississippi State. Like, I should have gone 1-1 and lived with it, but talked myself into it on the pod, and I don't think they were in that game after the initial kickoff.
Nice. Chaz, where are you going?
You want my last bet?
That's your best bet, correct?
That's my last too, so we can get into it.
All right, so hold that. Haz, do you have another or I'll give another one out. I got another one because I got 2 more plays, 1 more and my best bet. So you guys are gonna fucking hate me. Haz is gonna talk so much shit after this. He's gonna text me. He's gonna blow my phone up. But I'm going to the Big Ten opener, boy, in Happy Valley. I'm playing Penn State minus 14.5. 3 days I've been looking at this fucking game and I can't get off of it. It's a whiteout in Happy Valley Saturday night. Penn State fans are going to have that place rocking. But this is an Iowa team that we know they struggle to score. Finally, they're getting some Big Ten action this week. I don't see how they move the ball on this Penn State defense. I really don't. Penn State has Drew Aller at the helm here. This is a team averaging 470 yards a game, 210 rushing yards per game. I expect them to beat Iowa over the top and up the middle. I think they run it down their throat. I think they beat them on the long ball. Real quick, because I didn't even mention this in our group chat because I wanted to purposely hit you guys with it now. If you guys had to guess what Iowa's team total is, where would you put it? Let me hear it. I want everyone's answer before you look.
You want the over-under or the team total?
Iowa's team total. What do you think it is?
10?
9.5.
We already talked about it. 12 or 13, something like that. Based off the total.
Under 13.5, juice to minus 130. Like, Vegas doesn't even expect them to fucking score. Cade McNamara, quarterback for Iowa, is not someone I'm impressed with. 54% completion percentage. Dude is fucking garbage. Couldn't hack it at Michigan. Went to Iowa. I still think he's a fucking scrub. 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions on the season. And this is an Iowa team where Cade McNamara is missing his favorite receivers. His favorite receivers is tight end Luke Lachey. He's out. They're missing 2 running backs. Johnson and Patterson are both out. And this is an Iowa team who the last 3 weeks we've watched them beat Utah State 24-14. They beat Iowa State 20-13. And then last week they all of a sudden come in and beat the shit out of a Western Michigan team who's absolutely garbage. But there's no signs here that lead me to believe Iowa's going to score enough points to even make this game relevant. I will go as far as saying I don't think Iowa finds the end zone. All right? I don't think Iowa finds the end zone here. I have this game 27-6 Penn State.
Should we nuke the under then?
I mean, I know a couple guys I've talked to here on this spot. Everyone's like, low unders, high spreads. I tend to lean the dog. Blah blah blah. That's all I'm hearing. No, not this week. I think in the whiteout in Happy Valley Saturday night, Penn State fucking throttles them.
I just don't want to watch the game. That's not a game I want to subject myself to. So, I mean, I don't disagree with your assessment. Iowa's absolutely hot garbage on offense, have been for years. Don't see that getting any better, but just on the sheer principle that I don't want to have to watch that game with a rooting interest because, God, that's going to be awful watching them try to move the football. I'm going to no play it.
Fair enough. Duke, no opinion there? Kmart, no opinion there?
Definitely lean with you. I mean, the Iowa's D is pretty good, but they really haven't played anybody to test their D like this Penn State team, who people are saying can be, a Final Four if legit. I mean, one of the stadiums I want to go to is the big, it's not the big house, but it's like 1,000 fucking people less than the big house, 106,000 or some shit.
Happy Valley, baby.
Dude, so I know that scene is always so epic when you see those fans. And yeah, I could see it going just like you, Cheese. Like you said, I can see Iowa. I mean, their offense is so – every time you see them, I mean, even against Western Michigan, it was like they were down 7-0, like approaching halftime. And it's like, what are these guys doing again? They're 28-point favorites, and they ended up covering, but like it was so disgusting. They needed 2 pick sixes or a fumble six. So it's not going to happen against Penn State.
Nice. I agree.
I just can't believe you're on all these faves, man.
Wait till you see where I go with my best bet.
I already know where you're going. I know you're on faves.
Are you going to fuck it? Okay. Mine's the same.
Get into it.
Mine's the same as Cheese. Is it the Ducks?
No.
Oh.
I am on them also, though.
Okay.
But no.
Yeah, I'm
All
gonna.
right, why don't you get in your? Well, we're going a little bit over here. We're at 25 minutes. Let's get into our best bets. I know guys want to watch the NFL game. Kmart,
put me down for
the
Ducks and Kmart because I think, dude, same thing we said about Colorado State. Those teams, I mean, double overtime, whatever. They give it all. They're missing their two. The guy that goes 2 ways. I always look at my app, my Yahoo app, and I always see like where. Because it's not a spread thing. It's who's going to win the game. So most of the time when it's a 20-point spread, the favorite's 80-20. I just clicked. It's almost half and half. People think that Colorado's going to win the game. Whenever I see that and there's a huge spread, it just makes me run the other way. I think just like Cheese says, I think they're going to throttle them. I think
Oregon's going to fucking blow them out.
Blow them. We're talking, I heard someone say like a 47-17 type game, just destroy. So, I mean, the total 70, maybe Oregon scores 50-20. I don't know, but give me a rare big fave from me, but I run from.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm not going to lie. I fucking love that. I obviously knew you loved it already. We talked about it, but yeah, I think Oregon just runs it fucking up on them. Fuck you, Dion. Yep. Let's go. Kmart, where you going?
So, I think we all got action on this one. So, I'm in on Notre Dame plus 3.5.
Chaz, turn your mic on because I know you're in on this too. Let's turn this into a group
Simply
discussion.
because I want to see USC and Notre Dame undefeated when they go to South Bend. But no, I'll actually leave it there, and then I want the discussion to go, and then I'll jump in.
I mean, it's not my best bet, but I do really like Notre Dame. I think I think they're a different Notre Dame team. I don't think this is the same Notre Dame team we've seen for the last 15, 20 years because they have a very competent quarterback. In the past, teams like Ohio State that are big up front can just stack the box, stop the run, and say, try to beat us with your quarterback. If they do that now, they're fucked. They're going to lose because Sam Hartman's, he's 24 years old. He's in his 6th year. He's not going to make stupid mistakes. And I'm not in love with Ohio State's offense. I think their defense is fantastic. I could see this being a very close game. But being in Notre Dame, I'm going to give the edge to the home team and the most veteran quarterback. I like what Marcus Freeman's doing there. I don't have a lot negative to say about Notre Dame. I don't think they're the best team in the country by no stretch, but I think they're better than they have been.
Really? Yeah, I think that's a very fair statement. They are definitely better than they have been, without a doubt.
Jason and I talked about this, so I didn't want to pretty much steal everything I was going to say. But I mean, honestly, the plus 3.5 is why I bet it. If it were 3, I don't know. I might have sprinkled money line for shits and giggles, but the 3.5 to me, then the variances in these sports can just be so close. But yeah, it seems like it could be a final possession, and I want that 3.5.
One more little tidbit too. Notre Dame rested 5 starters on defense last week when they were playing Central Michigan. They didn't play a single snap because they were going to play this week against Ohio State. So they should be fresh.
I did read that. Kmart, has any opinion on this game?
I think it's going to be a great Midwestern. I lean the under. I think everybody sees these high-flying offenses like they're going to score. They only see 54. What? They can't get a 27-27 game? I think it might be just a grind out on the offensive defensive line. I'd love to see it just be like a 2017, 24-21 game. No opinion, though. I just can't wait to watch it. I know sharps on both sides. Most of the guys I know they liking the hook, because they could see it be a field goal game. So I might end up getting to the window with Kmart, but I have a fade guy who's a Notre Dame homer, so I might be on the Buckeyes. We'll see. I might fade the fuck.
Yeah, I think the Buckeyes figure it out this week. I do. It's not a game I really wanted to break down tonight. I didn't realize all you guys were on fucking Notre Dame. Obviously doesn't feel good.
You don't have to break it down. You can say why. Give us 2 sentences.
Yeah, I haven't seen one Ohio State ticket all week. Not one. I know I could right now. I could tell you 20 people who are on Notre Dame right now. Not one person on Ohio State. And this line hasn't budged. With the amount of money coming in on them in tickets, I figured this would have dropped below 3. Hasn't gone below. I know guys hammering the money line, guys hammering +3, guys hammering +3.5. And in one of my group chats with some of my Square buddies in Connecticut, got a couple of them telling me they're teasing them up to +10. It's free. No way. Ohio State beats them by that. Notre Dame probably wins the game. So it's actually kind of a fade spot on a couple of these guys in my group chat in Connecticut. More than anything else. But,
I think it's one of those rare spots where I think the public might be right for the wrong reason. I think they're really high on Notre Dame's offense. They're going to put up a bunch of points. They've been boat racing people. I'm kind of like.
We haven't seen that yet. We haven't seen that yet. We haven't seen them do that.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I said. I don't know that it's going to be a real high scoring game, but I do think this is a better team than most people are used to seeing. We associate Notre Dame with running the football and playing defense. I don't think that's how this team really traditionally wants to operate this year.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Right, well, we know all those times like the public and the sharps align. We saw it with the Super Bowl.
It happens.
It happens, and sometimes. But I am always weary a little bit too. Why isn't the line ticking down a little bit? But
I wouldn't be shocked to see Notre Dame win this game. 31-27 or, 25-21. Like, I wouldn't be shocked. All right, so I'm going to give out my best bet for this week. I played Bam Bam -6.5.
Oh, you're going there.
Yep.
Wait, did Chaz already do his best bet?
His best,
Yeah.
I think his best bet was Notre Dame, right?
It's BYU.
Oh,
We'll get to that in a minute then. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I played Bam Bam -6.5. Milrose back at the helm. I think he's the best of the three options. We've seen Saban try a couple different guys out. It hasn't seemed to work. Lane Kiffin's talking an awful lot of shit about this Bama team. I think it lights the fire under Saban. I absolutely love that our friend CT Betts is also on Bama. He loves them. I just texted him before the game when I found out he was on it. So that makes me even more excited. He's one of the guys in the industry that we as a whole, we respect. So it makes me feel good to see that he's on the same side.
It's an apple fuck play, right?
So what?
Chris? Isn't that an apple bomb play?
Yeah, kind of when you got two ranked teams and you and the home teams land the points. Yeah, because sometimes the road team can be kind of a public dog. Yeah.
Trendy. Yeah. Road team normally gets trendy in spots like this for sure. So I went Bam Bam -6.5. I think Saban puts his foot on the gas, and I think they win this game. 34-24 is where I have it. So yeah. So Chaz, what do you got for a best bet so we can wrap up here?
I'll go quick, man. BYU. BYU is usually one of the most experienced older players. So typically in road games, you don't get some of that crazy wild stuff you get from some of the true freshmen that are, entering the transfer portal from going from true freshmen one place they didn't get to play to the next place. You get a lot of veteran players at BYU. They just went into Arkansas, which is not an easy place to play well, and played very well and got the W. Kansas, to me, as much as I like BYU in this spot, it's more of a play against Kansas. Kansas has played no one. They have beat absolutely no one any good. They played a tight game against Missouri State in week 1, and supposedly it was like going to be a big win for them to beat Illinois. We've kind of all found out Illinois is terrible. I don't see any real upside other than they've got one or two really good players at Kansas. Their quarterback's fantastic. If BYU finds a way to scheme to slow him down even just a little bit, I don't think Kansas has shit on defense. I could see this being a really tight game. I could see BYU winning this game, and they're getting 9.5.
Yeah, it was a game I looked at. It was on my list. Also leaned BYU, just couldn't quite pull the trigger. Anyone want to add anything else on this game?
Yeah, I mean, Chase and I were texting about it, and I was just like, I don't know, man. I can't get there. Like, I agree with everything he's saying, and if I were to play a side, it's BYU. But
for sure.
I mean, again, I usually play all our plays, and I think we're due for something. I might parlay them all.
Yeah, see what happens.
Just burn down the book.
Okay. Well, boys, thanks again for another great episode. It's nice to see everyone's pretty faces. Why don't you tell everyone what happens when you step in shit?
Fuck, like you last night with the Yankees. Fuck, sometimes you get beat, but look, they're winning tonight, Dad. You should have doubled that.
All right, boys, listen.